Hi, hello everyone. Myself Priyanka Pise, lecturer in Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department, Jain Polytechnic, Belgavi. The video is mainly based on basic electrical and electronics engineering subject in that Unit 5, protective devices, battery, UPS and estimation. So we'll go through the contents which will be covered in these units are necessity of protective devices, types of protective devices, electrical earthing and cell and battery. So moving to the first concept, it is necessity of protective devices. So you all might have seen your energy meter board. In that, number of protective devices you can see. It might be your MCB, it might be fuse, or it might be earthing, it might be switch, it might be anything. Why do we use those all protective devices here? So I would like to give you an example here. There is one appliance or a motor, what we can say it as. So there is one motor here, and the operator is operating on that motor. If there is any leakage current which is flowing on the body of that motor, so it is harmful for the operator who is operating on that. He may get shock, so the chances of getting shock is more there. So in order to protect the operator who is operating on that appliance, we have to have some protective devices. In order to avoid the short circuits, we have to have protective devices. It might be overloading of equipments. In that case, we have to have our protective devices, and to ensure the continuity of the supply, these protective devices are necessity. So what are the necessaries of protective devices? That is to avoid short circuits, to avoid overloading of the equipment, to protect the operator who is operating on the particular appliance, and to ensure the continuity of the supply, we should have protective devices which are connected in the circuits. So what are the types of protective devices do we have? You can see one picture over here. In that picture we can see a fuse, MCB, ELCB. It might be single phase or it might be three phase. So number of protective devices are available in the market. So it might be fuse, or it might be MCB, yeah, or it might be switches, or it might be ELCB, or circuit breaker, or relays, or isolators, or grounding. It might be anything. So number of protective devices are available in the market. According to the application we can use it. So we'll go one by one. The fuse, yes, you all of you might have seen the fuse which is connected in our electricity board. So what is the meaning of fuse? Fuse is a small metal piece. So it is a small metal piece inserted in a circuit. So it is a small metal piece, it is inserted in the circuit, which melts when the heavy current flows through it and breaks the circuit. So I would like to give you an example here. So fuse is connected in series with the supply and the load. If it is used for 5 amperes, it can withstand a current rating only up to 5 amperes. If that current rating becomes more than that 5 amperes, then whatever the fusing element which is connected in the fuse, it will melt and it breaks the circuit. So this is how the fuse works. There are number of types of fuse are available. So these are based on the voltage levels. Basically there are two types of fuse element or the fuses which we get, that is low voltage fuse and high voltage fuse. In low voltage fuse again there are two types, those are revariable fuse and high rupturing capacity fuse. And in high voltage fuse there are mainly basically three types, those are cartridge fuse, liquid fuse and metal end fuse. So we'll go one by one. First one is revariable fuse. So what do you mean by revariable fuse? By looking at this diagram you might have seen it in your homes. So if revariable fuse, the main advantage of using this revariable fuse is nothing but whenever that fusing element which is placed here, if it get melts and if it breaks the circuit, then there is no need to replace the whole fuse. Only fusing element we will have to replace. So that is why all the persons will go through this rewirable fuse. So we'll moving to the next concept. It is nothing but switches. All of you might have seen the switches in your houses, which is used to switch on or switch off a appliance. If it is a lamp, we use switches to switch on and switch off the lamp. So we'll go to the definition of switch. A switch is a component which makes or breaks the circuit. It is called a switch. It is mainly a protective device. So we'll go to the next one. It is MCB and ELCB. So in first diagram you can see it is one type of MCB. It is used for three-phase supply. And here in one more diagram you can see that is ELCB. ELCB is nothing but earth leakage circuit breaker. The basically circuit breaker is nothing but which isolates the healthy part from unhealthy part whenever there is fault occurred in the load. It breaks the circuit. And about ELCB is nothing but earth leakage circuit breaker. The name itself indicates that earth leakage, whenever, as I've told, that there is a leakage current which is flowing on the body of that appliance, there may be chances of getting shock to the operator who is operating on that. In order to prevent that leakage current, the ELCB is being used here. So moving to the next concept, it is earthing. All of you might have know the meaning of earthing or grounding. So the meaning of earthing is connecting the metal body of an appliance, connecting the metal body of that appliance to the earth, to this earth, through a low resistance wire. It is called earthing. So why do we use low resistance wire in case of earthing? So if there is a leakage current which is flowing on the body of that appliance, it has to be flown, it has to flow through the ground. So earthing is necessity in order to prevent the short circuits or shorts. Then the resistance is given as R equal to L divided by A. So in one socket board, you might have seen there will be 3 points: phase, neutral and earthing. The diameter of that earthing point is more compared to these phase and neutral. Why it is more? So there is one equation here. This length and resistivity is constant. If area increases, area of the conductor increases, resistance decreases. So what do we need in the case of earthing? We need low resistance value. So if the diameter of this earthing element or the earthing point becomes more, the resistivity or the resistance of that point will be less. So high amount of current can be flown through that point. So there are number of necessity of earthings. So why do we use earthing? To protect the human beings, to protect the building from the lightning, and to avoid shock to the human beings. So these are the necessities of earthing. So there are how many types of earthing we will use? See, there are two types of earthings. One is plate earthing and second one is pipe earthing. So these are the two types of earthing systems. So moving to the next concept, it is cell and a battery. What do you mean by cell? Cell is an electrochemical device. The meaning of cell is electrochemical device which converts chemical energy into electrical energy and vice versa. So the symbol of the cell is like this. It is positive terminal and it is negative terminal. And the battery is nothing but it is a combination of number of individual cells connected either in series or parallel circuit according to the load. So number of cells are connected in one circuit to make it as battery according to the load, whether we want high voltage or high current. Based on this, we will see the design of this battery. So as I've told that it is a combination of battery. So we want 6 volt as the output, and one bar cell is rated as 1.5 volts. So how many cells we have to connect in which type of circuit? In order to get this 6 volt, we have to have 4 cells with us. So if we want more voltage, then we have to connect those cells in series. 1.5 volt cells to be connected in series, and the output of these cells will be 6 volt. This is the cell and battery. This is one type of cell and these are the batteries. I hope you have understood the videos. Thank you so much.